Welcome to the Dummy Plug Podcast.
Welcome, everyone, to the Dummy Plug Podcast. I'm Gainer79.
I'm eating pizza.
That's Oscar eating pizza. I'm also being joined by Unit 2.
Hello.
Hunter.
Howdy.
And, of course, General Iowa.
I'm going back on mute.
And tonight on the podcast, Oscar's very excited for this. We're talking about, are we going to get some giant freaking robots?
I'm just mostly excited for it because, I get excited to talk about the stuff that I know about, but I get really excited to watch Kamal talk about the things he knows about. Because he's ridiculous. I almost said ridic, and then I was like, huh, dick.
Ridic. I don't have
science boners everywhere.
Kamal is ridiculously smart, so I'm really excited to hear him talk about things that I don't know anything about, because, yeah, cool. So today we're talking about robots. Yes. No? Maybe?
Yes. And after it's all said and done, we're going to talk about, Evangelions versus all comers.
In a no weapons, prison rules, no items, Fox only, Final Destination, who would win?
It's time for a death battle!
Okay, so robots. So,
all of my robots.
Okay,
how do we want to start this?
Okay, I know how to start this. So I'll pose it specifically to Unit 2 here, because he's our resident science officer.
He's our resident fucking robot.
He is kind of the giant fucking robot.
Anyway.
He's also a giant regular robot too. He's not always a fucking robot.
If
only
I may.
sometimes.
That costs extra.
If I may.
Bow chicka bow wow.
And we're all right. Anyway.
Bumps you from 2 states away.
Oscar. Silence. Unit 2. Given the current technological availability, do you feel that within the next 25 years, the concept of a giant robot is feasible?
Absolutely not.
Wow,
that's the episode. Seriously.
If for no other reason, then nobody will build it. Just because, we don't need a giant fighting robot.
I never said giant fighting robot. I just said giant robot.
Oh.
Because I'm pretty sure you can buy one on Amazon right now.
What do you mean?
What's your definition of robot? Does it have to be in the human form?
Well,
are you talking like a mecha?
There is an actual mecha on Amazon you can buy right now, and it's like $18,000.
I was not aware of this. Now, when you say mecha, what sort of things can it do?
As far as I know, it's just you can ride on it and it moves. As for anything else, I don't know. I didn't take the time to research it. I just kind of saw it.
Now, when you say giant,
I want to say it's taller than at least taller than a school bus.
I mean that's like Transformer sized, which is more reasonable than say Ava sized, Gurren Lagann sized. I just watch Gurren Lagann, everybody.
I was gonna say I think a Gundam is actually kind of in that.
I'd say maybe 2 stories.
Yeah, it's in that upper end of feasible, I think.
Yeah. The one thing I like to talk about when people talk about either like giant fighting robots or stuff like King Kong is this rule that is pretty interesting. That's a good, a good sort of measuring stick. Mm-hmm. Is that when something is however tall, we'll call it X. It's X meters tall. How strong it is dependent on X squared, and how heavy it is dependent on X cubed. Mm-hmm. That's just a good rule of thumb. So, if something is 1,000 meters tall, then it's 1,000 cubed whatever strong. Or, I'm sorry, 1,000 squared whatever strong, and 1,000 cubed whatever heavy. And so there's a point where it just isn't strong enough to hold up its own weight. And that's sort of an upper limit on how big it can be. And like buildings follow this too, just like anything. Like it's why like whales can only survive underwater, is because if they were on land, they would crush themselves under their own weight.
Wait, what mech are we talking about? Someone send it. Oh, okay, cool.
Yes.
It's like a mass-produced, like... That's pretty incredible.
I've also to the point where robots, they couldn't hold human form after a certain height.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, there'd be stresses on joints, like the shoulder. There's a point where it just couldn't. It would just fall apart.
It's like it would be more feasible to see AVA units like the one that we saw in Rebuild that had 4 legs.
The beast mode.
No, the one that Maury piloted at
Unit 5?
The quad tank. It's like it looks like a gigantic Tachikoma.
That would be more feasible than a 2-legged robot.
Yeah, well, and I think that AVAs are sort of at the upper limits of feasible. For example, there's that Gundam in Japan. There's like a big Gundam statue that they actually put out an open call to engineers to devise a method to actually make it move. Mm-hmm. I kind of thought about looking into it, but it's I could never do that.
Come on, I hate to interrupt you really quick. I just wanted, because I just posted the picture or the link to the one I just saw.
We'll put all kinds of links on the page too.
Yeah, this is the robot I have that I was thinking of. It's the one made by Tsudibashi Heavy Industry. It's actually a 3-wheeled robot. It stands at about 12.5 feet tall and weighs about 5 tons.
Holy F.
Yeah.
That's a robot.
Yes. And the best part is you can build it yourself, apparently.
I want one.
Nope. See, why would you say that, Gaynor?
Unfortunately, it's $1 million and it's sold out.
Give me the specs. Make the specs open source.
And actually, these robots were used for something. Oddly enough, they were actually used as labor robots in the live-action Pat Labor.
In the what?
Love that show.
I've heard that's a good show.
I was going to say, for $1 million, it better be useful for something.
Yeah, that looks like an industry robot.
But yes, we have a robot. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Come on.
Oh no, it's fine. And yeah, when I talk about like upper limits on how big it can be, I'm talking like skyscraper size.
I see.
Like this is
just a hair above Ava size.
Yeah, well, like about I'd say Ava size.
I was going to say an Ava stands at 40 meters, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm going to say that whenever a robot gets that large, wouldn't the ground become a problem? It wouldn't be able to support the robot's weight.
Yeah, and actually they run into that problem with the what's it called, the space shuttles. They actually have a special road that they use to transport the space shuttle from wherever they build it to the launch site.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
That's why
transport the Avas.
Two-time graduate of Space Camp chiming in here to tell you that's why they build the space shuttles about like 250 yards away from where they launch them, because like once it's once the parts are completely assembled, the damn thing can barely move. So like they have a big special machine that moves about like a mile an hour maybe.
Oh yeah.
And it's huge, and it's a big like tread crawler.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It takes like 20 hours to wheel the stupid thing from the hangar to
You just go buy a Toyota because apparently they can haul it.
Jesus. But yeah, no, space shuttles are cool. Technology's cool. No, but I remember, come on, when we were watching the show the first time, I think it might have been Rebuild maybe, but we were no, it was when we were driving and we were talking about like, do you ever think about how big Avas are and just?
Oh yeah, like I remember. Sorry, what were you saying?
I was gonna say, like, we were driving home from somewhere and we were right by the windmills, and I was like, you know, a car is not even close to how big a foot of an Ava is. Like the scene where in the Rebuilds where Asuka and Shinji and Misato's car flips on its head and spins into Asuka's foot, like the Unit 2's foot. And they show the size comparison, and it's just like outrageous. Like the foot is the size of a semi-tractor trailer. And we were talking about that, and I remember you saying, like, they would need, like, special roads, special cars to pull it, like...
Yeah.
It's so cool. That's
Yes.
why they probably transport them by air a lot. We see Ava's being moved by air a lot.
This is
They
true.
also have rail tracks.
Yeah.
Transported on.
Well, yeah, they also have that freaking catapult system, but that's a whole other story. Anyway, so Kamal, you feel that there's a certain size limitation that, because of given the size of the Avas, could never happen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it depends on how they're built. I don't know. Like I've never actually studied this, but
well,
it has something to do with the biology.
I was going to say, with the Avas specifically, because they're of a biological nature, do you think that kind of takes a lot of the stress off the mechanical parts?
I actually think that would make that would require them to be smaller than something mechanical. And I mean, you can even see that in nature. Like, nothing is that big. If it could have gotten that big, it would have gotten that big.
Well, there is the indeterminate growth theory, but that really only applies to fish.
Oh, because
fish
there's
exists in a weightless environment, though.
Yeah.
Right, you're talking about something that could grow to an infinite size in a weightless environment if it has enough of a food source to grow. Although that wouldn't really apply to what we're doing here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with the Avas specifically, though, I mean, the whole cybernetic biological weaponry thing. We're also talking about the fact that the core basis for an Evangelion unit is something that's not of this earth. It's we're talking about angel material essentially here. Is used to create the Avas. Now, whether or not that is obviously that's not feasible in real life, but is that possibly the way that the Avas became so large, is because of that aspect?
I mean, you could either argue that they're made of something that's either a material that's stronger, like better than any material that we have, or you could just argue that they don't operate under our laws of physics. And either of those is sort of a suspension of disbelief.
Yeah, it's a suspension of disbelief essentially, and I think that's something that with Ava it works, and it's one of those things that's very beneficial to it, where you're not where you think, okay, this isn't outside the realm of possibility, it's just a little far-fetched.
It's more outside the realm of occurrence than possibility.
Yeah,
I think they sort of tread that line.
Right. Now, whether or not this technology could become, feasible in 100 years from now, 200 years from now, it remains to be seen, obviously, and God knows the way we create weaponry, we could build something like this, with enough time, because we always find new and inventive ways of blowing ourselves up. So
I think something more interesting to look into would be the idea of the S2 engines.
What's their explanation for the S2 engine?
I don't think we're ever given one, are we?
I'm going to look it up because I'm not doing anything important in this podcast.
Well, I believe it was based on the S2 organs from the angels, so it's based on angel physiology.
So there you go. It's not something that can be easily explained.
An S2 engine, also referred to as an S2 organ, is an organ located within the core of an angel. Evangelions are not born with S2 engines and are thus dependent upon energy supplied via power cable or internal battery. So S2 engines are just the big orbs. They don't exist on Avas. That's why when Ava Unit 1 gets one by eating whatever it eats, Zeruel, I think?
Yes.
Yeah. When Unit 1 eats it, that's why it becomes like God.
It becomes ascended.
It becomes because it becomes a real. It's almost kind of like it didn't have a heart. Like it didn't have a real.
It became
I'm
a real
boy now, and it becomes, an actual, for real, honest to goodness angel.
Okay then.
Oh
yeah. Also, that's how Nerve Nevada gets blown to fucking shit.
This is true.
They're screwing around with, I think, Shamshell's S2 engine, and they blow up, and they don't even blow up, they cease to exist. They just stop existing.
Good God.
Oh yeah, aren't they it's not there anymore, we don't know.
Gendo's like, they blew it up, and Fuyutsu's like, no, they're just not there anymore, and he's like, so they blew it up. Fuyutsu's like, we don't know.
They just got David Copperfielded.
Maybe? They're gone. So if that's what you want to believe, sure.
All right.
Sure.
So moving on.
So Hunter, what were you saying about that?
I was saying with the orbs, wouldn't that be more similar to how dark matter is shaped? Because it's usually in an orb.
Dark matter? We don't know what dark matter
Or
looks like.
antimatter, I meant to say.
You're thinking Futurama there, Hunter.
No, I'm saying antimatter.
Oh,
because they do have antimatter.
Yeah, we've isolated small amounts of antimatter before, I think.
And they've been thinking about using it as like a energy source.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it takes a lot more energy to isolate antimatter than we could ever really get out of it in any practical way. Also, it's not infinite, because, like, by definition, the energy we get from colliding matter and antimatter is, like, annihilated.
So using it for a long time would just destroy the universe?
Not the universe, because we'd have to create the antimatter, too. There's actually a whole thing about, like, why does the universe exist? Because if antimatter and matter is created at the same time, then why didn't it just all annihilate each other? Like, why is there all this matter here? And I forget why. There's some weird thing.
I mean,
Jesus loves us.
But back to this, but based on the simplest laws of creation and physics and stuff, matter cannot be created or destroyed.
Yes, it can.
Not completely.
Matter energy cannot be created nor destroyed. Like the sum total of all matter plus energy is not, and even then there's a little bit of because quantum physics is
holy shit. Science is so cool.
Or you go on atomic scale, physics doesn't make sense anymore.
Well, that's the thing. Even if you hit a rock to the point of its dust, it still exists.
Well, sure, because all the interactions you've been having with it are like electrodynamic or electromagnetic. But if you were to take like an electron and a positron and put them and smush them together, they would both cease to exist. Just
subatomic level.
Yeah, they wouldn't exist anymore. There would be photons in their place, but the particles themselves would no longer exist.
All right.
Particle physics is fucking crazy. Woo.
All right, moving away from particle physics and back to Ava.
I love particle physics.
Kamal's like, no!
Well, this is an Ava podcast. If we wanted to get sciencey on you, we could. God knows I'm a scientist.
We are getting sciencey, and it's great.
I know, right? Okay, so the physiology of the Avas is kind of, I think we think is a little far-fetched. But now let's talk about, say, the control system for the Ava. Because this is something I think that a lot of people have said is just impossible because LCL itself would just kill you. So I'm just
no, it would just be exhausting to breathe it.
It's very painful for you.
Like assuming LCL is like an oxygenated liquid that like your lungs can derive the oxygen from. Well, like it wouldn't kill you, but
they say it's something similar to like an amniotic fluid, like what an infant experiences in the womb.
Yeah, which is why infants have such problems breathing when they're first born, because they're trying to adjust to the effort that it takes to breathe amniotic fluid versus the effort it takes to breathe air. It's totally different. So that's why they come out gasping, because they're used to having to breathe very heavily in the womb, whereas outside of the womb, it's very easy to breathe air because it doesn't take a lot of force to get it out of your lungs. Whereas breathing liquid, when you watch like videos of mice that are like suspended in breathable liquid, they're like it's like a like you have to it would be exhausting.
I actually didn't know, like, do infants breathe in the womb? Like, is that an oxygenated liquid, or
it's not so much breathe as like there is amniotic fluid in your lungs when you're born. Like, you're not necessarily breathing it, but you are, like, infants practice breathing in the womb. Like, they practice breathing, they practice making crying facial expressions, they do everything. So, like, babies are weird.
I'm not a doctor. I just stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
I think the importance of like birth time is directly related to how formed the baby's lungs are, because like the reason that it's so important to deliver right at your due date and it's important to not deliver early because the lungs won't be developed enough, and it's important not to deliver too late because once the baby's lungs are developed enough, you can like it can't handle amniotic fluid in them anymore. Does that make sense? Like, once the lung is developed enough, you can't be in that environment anymore. You have to be out of the aquatic environment into an environment where you're breathing air. And that's how babies work. So now, as that relates to Ava, I mean, it almost seems counterproductive to have the LCL in there just because, it helps that womb metaphor.
Well, yeah.
They're in the fetal position, and they're inside their mothers, and...
Well, I understand that, but I mean, like, as in terms of pilot safety and in terms of keeping the pilots in a healthy environment, it almost seems counterproductive to have the LCL in there.
Hold on. Pilot safety for this show?
At some point, somebody thought of pilot safety, that person being Yui Ikari, who helped design the damn things. So...
Sure, they probably didn't have the LCL at first, and Gendo was like, you know what? We need to have them breathe in liquids. And they'll be like,
because, like, in the original...
Like, good.
In the Gahern project, like, Yui went in like, essentially a diving suit. Like, she dived directly into the LCL. So it's something... Well, because LCL is Lilith's blood, isn't it? So they've had it from the beginning.
Yeah. Well, they said that it's like also like primordial soup and junk, so.
Yeah.
I kind of less saw it as like blood and more of just like a fluid, because I'm assuming that angels don't really have circulatory systems. Like.
You think they're gelatinous?
Because if Yui dove into, because the plugs are inserted into the spinal columns of the Avas, so like I kind of saw it as like spinal fluid, maybe.
This is Spinal Tap.
Oh my god. Gendo and Fuyutsuki, but Fuyutsuki's stuck inside the pod thing.
So what you never really get to see is the pilots where they come out of the Ava's just throwing up all this fluid.
This is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would every time, wouldn't they?
Yep.
That's true.
And they'd be throwing up before they could even breathe normal air again. They'd probably have to have their lungs pumped.
Yeah, really. Now, here's a weird question, though. Like, now, why doesn't the LCL affect the electronic technology that's obviously in the cockpit? You'd think it would just start shorting things out.
Could be kind of like how mineral oil works.
Yeah, maybe it's just not conductive. I've heard of people putting their whole computer in a bath of mineral oil to cool it. Like, it doesn't conduct electricity. Though, actually, we do know that the LCL conducts electricity because they use it to jumpstart Shinji's heart.
Oh, yeah.
Cardiac massage, I believe the phrase is.
That is correct.
Shock the fuck out of him.
But I thought that was...
I thought that was in the suit.
Yeah,
oh
I was going to say, I thought
on.
that was linked directly to the suit.
Oh, I thought they shocked the LCL.
On their back.
Yeah, I think it's actually the suit now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, I want to say there's a defib built right into this chest of the suit. Which would explain the chest plate that Shinji has.
I was going to say something, I forgot what it was. Oh, we were talking about cardiac massage and shocking people, and I was thinking about that one experiment, like, Gendo, should I really shock him? The experiment must continue. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the what's it called? The experiment.
Yeah.
The one.
You know
with
what I'm
the
talking about, though? The Nazi one.
It's not Nazi.
Okay, I'm reading. Hold on, I'm reading
the forum. It was just
a
sociological one.
I'm finally reading. Well, it was a study in can you honestly plea I was just following orders. Really, I'm reading the forum for the podcast because I never go on the podcast section of it, and I don't know who Elfie is, but I'm laughing because
Elfie, that's Gyron.
Oh, okay. Well, Asuka just cursed in front of her mom. My mom would lecture me for an hour if I did that, and I'm over here like, yeah.
Okay then.
Yeah.
All right,
I
so
like making people laugh.
okay, so let's move along a little bit with this. We know that the pilot is essentially, the core part of operating an AVA unit, but then we have the dummy plug system. So, how the hell does it work? Anybody want to take this one? Iowa? You haven't said much.
Magic.
Yeah, I'm with Oscar Magic.
I have an idea.
A wizard did it. I don't know.
Well, that's a good enough explanation for me. All right.
No, Hunter's got an idea. Let him talk. He's probably got a better idea.
I always go with Karu's explanation that an Ava without a dominant soul can be controlled. So whenever the Ava's soul isn't dominant, then the dummy plugs of Karu and Rei can take control.
I see. Okay.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
just kind of figured that the dummy plug was a computer that they designed to make the same decisions Rei would make.
I was going to say, isn't the core of a dummy plug system just another Rei clone?
Yeah, that's what I've heard. That it's just another Rei.
Pretty much every time she'd go into that giant stand-up pod thing, they were making a copy of her memories to implant into the other blanks.
I just realized something. Ava has perfected the technology of 3D printing.
I'm laughing. Oh my god.
Biological 3D printing.
I'm laughing.
If we can build a wrench in space, we can build a Rei.
Not even. They they basically faxed a wrench to space. Like, they scanned a wrench and sent it, oh my god. Technology, what a freaking time to be alive. Oh my god.
Just wait till just wait till you can 3D print a burrito. You'll never leave the house.
No, I'm waiting to come from Willy Wonka. You do it, it's a meal. And I turn into a blueberry. Violet! You turn Violet? No, nobody.
Nope.
Well, I'm reading about Deroxys now. What the hell is this?
Yeah, I have no idea.
There's
Okay,
a lot of numbers.
What else? Oh, we could talk about, when you were talking about, control systems.
Oh, yeah.
How difficult it would be to actually operate something that large.
Yeah, the controls for an Evangelion seem almost simplistic. I'd have to imagine it being a lot more complicated.
Well, I mean, it's sort of more connected to their brains.
This is true.
I think that's a lot of the control is implied, just directly them thinking it.
And honestly, I don't think that technology is too far off now, considering we have stuff like the Oculus Rift. I think cybernetic control is within a 50-year possibility.
Well, they do have things that you can strap to your head that can read your brain waves.
Yeah, I don't really know how the whole brainwave thing works with EEGs and all the various
just
kinds of
electronic
brainwaves.
pulses.
Yeah.
You have to fine tune it, and then after a while, whenever you if you say hooked it up to your computer mouse, and you pictured moving up with moving your left finger up, then after a while the mouse thing will move with your finger.
Yeah, there's still that sort of calibration that you need to do, though. It's not...
Well, that's why they
it's
have to
not
do all
self-evident.
the tests whenever
Yeah.
they're doing their Ava sync tests.
Yeah.
It's all calibration.
Okay, then.
I'm just gonna say that Ava ripped off G Gundam.
Ava came first, didn't it?
Nope. Nope.
When did
Whatever.
G Gundam come out?
Early 94.
They did have plug suits.
This is true.
And they did have, motion inside becoming motion outside almost instantaneously.
That's true. G Gundam was also racist as hell, but let's not get into that argument.
Stereotypical as hell, but still fucking funny.
Dude, Tequila Gundam. Enough said. If I'm not mistaken, it fought with a friggin' pitchfork and a weed whacker. Not kidding. It was like a pitchfork.
Okay.
It had a Mexican sombrero. It's named Tequila Gundam, and it fights with yard tools.
Okay, so back to Ava.
Should we just get it right into who would win in a fight?
No, we have like a half hour. No.
Oh, come on, we could totally.
Come on. I bet you could come up with at least one more thing to talk.
Science.
Yeah. What about speed of light delay? Speed of light delay?
What?
For input
what
controls?
Yeah. So light travels at a speed. It's not instant.
Right.
Which is important, like, if you're talking about, like, electronic controls of something of that big, that it sort of becomes non-trivial, the amount of time it takes for a signal to go from, let's say, the cockpit down to the foot and then back.
Right.
So Kamal's trying to say, what about whenever you see something, it takes time to register that, and then how long does it take to register you seeing it to transmitting an action to the Ava actually performing the action?
Yeah, and then even the Ava taking information from its environment and bringing it back to you, like, there'd be a considerable lag. It just seems like that for something that big, it would be pretty difficult to actually control it well.
Unless you have like some kind of supercomputer and a high-tech wiring system in that thing.
I mean, even then, there's still a minimum amount of time that it could take.
True. The question, though, becomes, mathematically, what would that amount of time be? And, because we're also dealing with a biological weapon as opposed to a pure machine, does that have some kind of difference?
Then it would take longer.
Well, they are, we see that the pilots are looking through, a bunch of LED screens.
Mm-hmm.
They're set up in, a 360 view.
Mm-hmm.
So it is, going through some sort of camera, which is going to have a small lag.
Mm-hmm. And even, moving whatever motors, I don't know how the motion works, if it, directly causes the Ava to move, or if the armor that's around the Ava, forces it to move.
We're talking about, janky motion, kind of like Chuck E. Cheese robot.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm laughing. Oh my god, could you imagine?
Well, because whenever something goes to move and it stops, it will still move forward a little bit.
This is why Ava Unit 1 falls over, because Shinji can't control it.
Yeah, but a human body, if we move our arm really fast in front of our face, it's going to go past where we tell it to stop, but then automatically go back to where we tell it. But in a robot, it will look really janky.
It'll just be flailing wildly.
Yeah.
Even something like you're talking about, like Shinji falling over, even something as simple as standing up, it takes us however many years as people to learn how to stand up. It's because, subconsciously, when we're standing up, our body is making, corrections to how we're applying pressure to each of our feet to make sure we don't fall.
So the best
all these balancing robots that you see that, Boston Dynamics and, that they're building, they have to do these same micro corrections, too. But with a robot that big, it takes a really long time, a relatively long time for all of those to happen if the central computer is however far away. It's 4 stories up.
Well, now, could you possibly put, relay computers within the structure of something like that?
It's kind of like how a giraffe has 2 hearts. There's a heart neck.
I think that's how they would have to do it.
Just
find some way to have them communicate with each other.
Right, so you're talking about
how?
So you probably would put a relay computer at some of the major, in terms of human physiology, some of the major arteries. So you talk about the equivalent of the femoral artery would have a computer. In the biceps there might be a computer. In the chest region, I think that's what you're trying to get at. Am I right?
Yeah, but even that, that would help, but even then they'd have to talk to each other. So you still run into the issue of how long it would take for them to talk to each other.
So you'd have to put a server in there, and good God.
The whole mess. Robots are hard, you guys.
Yes, they are.
Well, like a more realistic look, I think, would have been the Jet Alone robot instead of the Ava ones.
Oh, jeez.
As that was very slow. It was janky.
You know how I feel on that. Well, okay.
Oh my
What?
God. Someone is selling the Ava 3.0 wedding ring set in my size. Holy shit. Bye, guys. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh my God.
So
Anyway, Iowa.
I think. How do I want to phrase this?
Don't hold back, dude.
No, I'm not actually going to bitch about the episode. I'm trying to think critically about Jet Alone as a design, and I think the biggest problem is that technology of 1995 honestly wouldn't do that well if we were to try to do the Jet Alone, but if we were to try to do it now, I think it would probably work better, because A, we've had 20 years to work on and refine nuclear reactors.
Right.
And
we haven't.
Yeah, we really haven't. That's the biggest thing. I still a loss amongst my hatred of that episode was the first time I ever watched that episode. It's like, wait, you took a nuclear reactor and you put it into something on land that's mobile. Wow, that's friggin' genius right there, folks.
You know, and just
nuclear reactors don't explode.
Yeah, just thinking about the physiology of the Jet Alone robot, it seems like it would be too top heavy.
Yeah, that's my other biggest that was another concern. The top of it is like so massive compared to the legs. It's like, that is not good design.
It's like a bowling
gorilla shape.
Yeah, and it leans over for a reason. Because it is way too top heavy, and it is on the edge of just going doot, and pulling a Unit 1 and just falling onto its face.
And then blowing up.
Yeah, and
causing a Chernobyl.
Yeah! Pretty much. So in 20 years from then, 25 years from then, Top Gear hosts will attempt to drive around it. Gotcha.
Yep.
Did they do that? They drove around Chernobyl?
Okay, here was the challenge. Each of them was given a car, and they were affixed. They started at a spot outside of Chernobyl, and were tasked to try to run out of gasoline before they got to the checkpoint. 2 of them failed, and had to drive into Chernobyl, and then one of them ran out of gas inside of Chernobyl, inside the radioactive zone. Yeah.
Anywho.
Fine.
Yeah, sure it is.
This is fine. This is fine.
Please, I saw a show where a guy went fishing in the channel leading right up to it, so...
Okay, that guy's fucking insane.
Did he eat it?
No, he just caught a gigantic mutated catfish.
But
so he caught the fish from The Simpsons.
Yes. Anyway.
Okay.
So, is there anything sciencey we want to keep talking about with Ava?
There has to be. I love this.
What about the weapons?
Oh yeah, weapons.
Oh God, can we please talk about the antimatter cannon? Come on.
No, we can't, because that'll turn into a whole thing.
Come on, the proton, whatever it is. Just give us a quick rundown on why that's not how this couldn't exist, and if it did, that's not how that works.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. So, like the fight against Ramiel, when they have, first off, like, oh hey guys, I just remembered I know some people who built an antimatter thing. Also, it's in the shape of a giant gun, so that's super convenient, and I can build it in 14 hours or whatever.
It's a gigantic railgun.
Well, no, it's like a particle accelerator that they just sort of sawed the end off of. Like, all right, we're just going to let these go.
Wait. It's a particle accelerator that shoots a gigantic fucking laser. My God, it's a Ghostbuster.
Don't cross the streams. I'm pretty sure when we watched the Rebuild episode when they fire the gun at Ramiel, I think exactly what I said was don't cross the streams, because they do the crazy, like, they go right towards each other and they go like whomp and like go around. And I was watching it with Kamal and I remember you going, that's That doesn't exist, and if it did, that's not how it works.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
That's commercial.
The gun's called a positron rifle.
Yeah, positron.
Yes.
So it's a positron rifle, and positrons are the antimatter versions of electrons. So if you were to fire that into just air, at every point along its trajectory, it would be interacting with the electrons in the air, and as we were talking about earlier, annihilating them. So there would be an explosion at every point along that laser's trajectory.
Which would be amazing.
It would just explode the air.
It also
It would ignite the atmosphere.
Yeah, it would also explode the gun. It
Oh
wouldn't
my
even
God.
stand a chance of making it to Ramiel.
If only, like, alright guys, let's load up this gun, we've used all the power from Japan, pulls trigger, destroys Ava, destroys Nerve, destroys the gun, destroys
Doesn't
everybody.
destroy Ramiel.
Ramiel is just standing there after the dust clears and it just kind of goes, meh, and like goes back to doing whatever it was doing. Or no, it sees everything is destroyed, it just fucks off into space. Like, oh, okay, bye.
It's like, them motherfuckers are crazy. I'm done with this shit.
Ramiel was gangsta.
That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
Good God, every time I remember what Ramiel looks like, I just have this terrible image of it wearing Beats headphones. And
I'm wearing Beats.
I like the picture of it in a schoolgirl outfit.
no, it's wearing Beats headphones. It's Angel Beats.
Oh my
God damn it, Gainer.
Boo!
I'm pretty sure I posted that picture somewhere.
Yes, you did, and you're still a terrible person.
God.
Fucking me. By the way, the only good part of Angel Beats was TK.
Really quick before we talk about Battle Royale for the last, 10 minutes of this podcast, Kamal, tell us about the likelihood of, an actual Magi system. How likely is that? To have a government based on 3 supercomputers.
I mean...
Also, brain in a computer?
Well, we don't understand brains enough to hook them up to a computer.
Yes.
I think that's the major thing preventing us from hooking up brains to a computer. Though, we hooked up I think it was a rat brain. To, it was brain cells grown from a rat's brain. We wired them up to I think it was basically a video game, like a flying game or something.
I was going to say...
And it learned how to... I could be lying. I hope I'm not lying, because it's really cool.
We just hooked a rat brain up to a game console and made it play Call of Duty. The brain cell immediately died.
But yeah, we don't understand the human brain enough to actually hook it up to a silicon computer.
Would you put your brain in a robot body?
Absolutely.
What about a robot shark?
But in terms of having robots that sort of make decisions, I'm actually taking an artificial intelligence course right now. But I mean, I think it's not entirely absurd. I don't know. I think it could be done, making arbitrary decisions.
So the technology is within our grasp.
I guess what necessarily, what would you want it to do?
In terms of if I put my brain in a robot body, what I would want that robot body to be able to do?
Or no, what sort of things that the Magi do? Are you referring to?
Well, they calculate, probability to the nth degree. They actually make decisions on. I think they made a decision on whether or not to destroy Nerve at one point when they had that virus infection.
They also have emotion-based decisions.
Yeah. There's a lot of weird decision making, and it's basically a democracy of if 2 of them vote for one thing and the other one says no, they're like, screw it, the other 2 said do it.
Yeah, so that's, it'd be it's a very specialized system.
I think they would need more than just 3 Magi for it if they actually implemented it. They'd have to have a whole Congress of Magi.
You could do that within each computer. I think the main thing is that each of them is slightly different from the others. But if you had like 3 of them, and each of them contained 1,000 different instances of the Magi running, then that could work. But I guess a lot of it depends on what information they're getting. Like, what information are you feeding them? Like, that they're making these that they're basing these dishes. I can't speak.
I guess yes. It's what are they making decisions on, and how are they basing those decisions?
Yeah, like what are you telling them?
Yeah,
they need to know as many variables as they can.
Right, right. Okay, so
the idea computers, which are a whole different thing.
So the idea of a triple computer runs, organization is probably not the best idea.
Probably not. Certainly not to run your entire organization. But I mean, people are using computers to like analyze data and spit out probabilities now. I mean,
right, but it's not like
they're just.
But they're not leaving the entire of, hey, I should do this to the computer.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Computers right now are still just a tool.
Right.
Whenever you do, that's where we run into like problems like in Psychopath.
Oh, yeah. That whole system. Yeah, the Sybil system in Psychopaths. Yeah, I've heard
that's a good show.
First season's good. Watch it. If you liked Ghost in the Shell, you'll like Psychopaths. And I won't say any more than that, really. It's a little bit more action-packed than Ghost in the Shell was at times. And it goes to some very dark places very, very quick.
I just always question the characters' judgments.
Yeah, so...
It's like, they're a little too trigger-happy.
This is true. Anywho. Okay, so we've conquered science. It's time for fighting.
Science is done.
Yes, now we get to go to the brawn.
Okay. Unit 1 versus Unit 2. Unit 1, Unit 2.
Asuka, your mic has broken up significantly.
Unit 1 versus Unit 2.
Okay, who would win a fight? Unit 1 or Unit 2?
Now, are we saying Shinji piloting Unit 1 and Asuka piloting Unit 2?
Yes.
Asuka.
Wait, what part of the show? Like
it
early or
it doesn't
late?
matter. It's Asuka.
Yeah, it totally matters.
Asuka's the better pilot.
Yeah, but if we're going towards later in the series, Asuka, I'm not so sure she wins.
It's not even. But that's not even the issue
here.
Okay, hold on. Both of them at their best.
I was going to say it doesn't even matter at their best because Shinji wouldn't attack Asuka.
I guess.
It's a draw. Gotcha.
Both units in berserk mode without a pilot.
Oh crap.
Ooh, the Beast
Unit
mode versus berserk mode. Ooh.
Unit 2. Unit 2
I take
like
one.
objectively better. That's the point.
Unit 1 has a lot of intangibles going for it. That's why Kendo focuses on it so much.
I saw Unit 1 eat an angel. I don't think it would be opposed to eating an Ava.
Unit 1 beat 0. Unit 2 got its head cut off. So
Unit 1's actually beaten another Ava. It's beaten Unit 4.
Unit 2 took down all of the MP Avas.
Or Unit 3, too.
Well, it stunned them, but yeah.
I mean, if they weren't God mode, then
they weren't
taken
OP.
all of them down.
Well, yeah. Wait, hold on. Which one was the one Toji was supposed to pilot? It was Unit 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ava Unit 1 beat it.
Well, that was the dummy plug. That wasn't Shinji.
But it doesn't matter the fact that
true.
Unit 1 beat another angel.
Ava,
whatever.
Same thing with like following angels, like 0.
Okay, let's get outside the Ava realm. Any of the Avas versus pick a giant robot here. Let's throw Voltron in there.
Are they on Earth or in space?
Ooh, we'll have to go with.
Who's piloting the mech, the Gurren Lagann mech?
Are we talking? Wait, are we
doing Voltron first?
Voltron.
Well, because Gurren Lagann's kind of a no contest. It's the Voltron.
So Ava versus Voltron.
Yeah, so let's say it's. Well, actually, I'd have to go with Asuka just for the fighting spirit here. Asuka piloting Unit 2 against the entire Voltron force.
I'd say Unit 2, just because if there are 5 people piloting Voltron, it would take it more time to... Now, I've never actually watched Voltron, but I figure 5 people piloting one thing would take longer to make decisions than one person piloting a thing.
I just have this strange feeling that one of the people from the Voltron team is going to say something stupid and piss off Asuka, and 20 seconds later, just done.
It's gonna be anybody. It's gonna be fucking Pidge.
Yeah, something stupid said. Asuka goes berserk, rips apart Voltron in 20 seconds. Fatality.
Voltron does have a flaming sword, though.
Could just attack them from space, couldn't it?
Wait, no, I have the ultimate question. Kamal,
What?
Gypsy Danger or Unit 1?
No, we're still talking about Voltron.
Oh, I thought we were done.
No,
I heard Flaming Sword and I thought we were done.
Okay.
I was gonna say Voltron has that fucking flaming sword, and it can pretty much waste anything with it.
You're assuming that it can go through a prog knife.
Yeah, if we're talking weapons, then we've got prog knife, we got the spikes in the shoulder, we even have the giant guns.
We have giant machine guns, handguns, chain guns.
Aren't limited on their power supply? Because Voltron could just cut their power supply and fly into space and wait for it to zip.
Yeah, but if it's Unit 1 with an S2, then yeah, that's not happening.
Let's just say, for the sake of argument, there is no power supply issues.
Well, what about AT field? Because you can't.
Yeah, I was going to say that's kind of OP right there.
Flaming sword would break through the AT field, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, whatever.
No.
S2
mine couldn't break through an AT field.
I was going to say, no kidding.
Yeah. Well, N2 mine's just a modified nuke.
Yeah, it's a nuke without the radiation.
It's a nuke.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking that's more powerful than a flaming sword.
Yeah, it's a nuke.
Alright, fine. So, okay.
Fucking nuke.
Oh my god, it's just a nuke.
Alright, anyway, let's move on here. Let's get on Gurren Lagann versus any of the Avas. I'm guaranteeing Gurren Lagann wins this.
I ain't guaranteeing. I'm not watching.
Okay, well,
Gurren Lagann comes up to Ava Unit
2 questions. 2 questions. The first one, when we say Gurren Lagann, we mean Gurren plus Lagann, right?
Yeah.
That's a legitimate question, because if we went with Final Form Tengen top of Gurren Lagann, it's an automatic win. Because
it's I can't find Unit 2. Where is Unit 2?
Well, it's not even that.
Oh shit! I stepped on it.
Probability, especially with the probability to destroying missiles, because those would just plow through an AT field. But yeah, if we went, even if we just went with the combination of Gurren and Lagann, I still think that would be enough to kill an Ava.
Well, so my second question is who's piloting? Simone and...
It's gotta be Simone and Kamina versus Shinji.
Oh yeah, then it's definitely Gurren Lagann.
Wait, what if Unit 2 and Unit 1 synchronized dance team versus Gurren Lagann?
Still Gurren Lagann. Gurren Lagann is so OP, it's not even funny.
I'm just going to be a complete dick and pick the Avas because I can't stand that show.
That's the thing. If you get Gurren close enough, it could just overtake an Ava.
Their bigger unit was the giant ship.
Oh yeah, the Daigurren.
Yeah, that one was actually around the size of an Ava.
Well, I think it was the size of a
I'd say Gurren Lagann
carrier.
is the size of an Ava.
Because we've seen it in
Hold on, let me go find the chart.
The Ava wins because they can't stop making drill jokes.
Because if you
look
at
out
the
from
size,
exhaustion.
Simone and Kamina stand next to each other as wide as its head.
Yeah, hold on a second.
I think Gurren Lagann's only maybe 10 feet tall.
Gurren Lagann isn't all that big by comparison. And Avas are gigantic.
Okay, so the Ava just walks up and just kicks it like a can.
Daigurren is definitely larger than an Ava.
Oh, Daigurren is the size of an aircraft carrier that walks.
I guess that would mean it's bigger because they were on an aircraft carrier.
So maybe it would be Daigurren.
Wait, hold on here. I have actual specs on something here. So Ava Unit 1 stands at 132 feet, which is 40 meters. To put that in comparison with something else, Voltron is 197 feet tall when it's all put together. Mechagodzilla is 164 feet.
Oh my god. The wind farm towers are 328. Avas are little.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really are.
Hold on. Optimus Prime is 23 feet.
He's getting kicked.
Optimus Prime is so
Oh
little.
yeah, Transformers are itty bitty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Those things from Pacific Rim. Whatever the hell.
Excuse you?
I
They're
never
called
saw.
Jaegers.
Whatever.
You're missing out.
Those things are 260 feet tall.
Holy F!
Wow, those things
my
are big.
God.
Fuck.
Yeah. Okay.
The Russian Jaeger versus Unit 1.
Punt over.
I was gonna
Punch.
say.
Okay.
And for comparison, Gundams are about 62 feet tall.
Gundams are so little!
I would still take. I know Gundams
Still
are small.
6 stories tall.
I would still take Char or Char counterattack Amuro
I feel like-
against a Eva unit.
Now,
I feel like there's a bit of a disconnect between what they say they are and sort of how they draw them.
Well, yeah, I mean, they look larger than life. But to put this,
Yeah, they
to put
look
this in
larger.
perspective, like, I got a chart here. Like, Big O stands just around the 30-meter mark.
Big
And-
O's bigger than that.
Not according to this.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, wherever they show it, like, next to buildings.
Yeah. Now,
Or maybe they just have they have tiny buildings.
now, if you want to go with the biggest giant robot ever fucking conceived, you'd have to go with, like, the SDF-1 from Macross.
We're talking something that actually fits within the galaxy, right?
I was gonna say, like, are you, like, is that including or not including the final form?
Yeah, it's not including the final form of Gurn, whatever the hell it's called.
Oh, yeah, Tengen Toppa Gurren is literally...
Yeah, because
literally
I'm sorry.
can throw galaxies like shurikens.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
So, yeah.
I'm still taking Char over an Ava unit.
I mean, that's the thing. In the grand realm of giant robots, Avas aren't that big.
But they're not that small either. They're kind of like middle of the road.
Not even.
Okay,
There's
I'm looking
a
at a
ton bigger than
comparison
that.
chart that has, like, all kinds of crazy stuff on here. Like, Daigunzen and, like, the FLCL hand robot and stuff like that.
Oh, God.
And I've got Avas at... Oh, it doesn't say... I've got Avas at about, like, nipple height on Gypsy Danger. Like, an Ava's head at about
I can
nipple
see
height.
that.
Hold on, where the hell did I put that thing?
Oh no, Imperial Walkers are so little.
Oh, yeah, those things are tiny.
Oh my god, Cloverfield's on here. I forgot about how much I love Cloverfield.
Hold on, Oscar,
Oh.
I have the size chart. Give me a minute.
Oh hey, Big Sam.
There's,
God damn it, Danny.
There's the chart.
Oh hey, Big Sam.
Yeah, we should put
love
the
Big
chart
Sam.
on
Yeah,
like
the chart,
available.
Yeah, because let's see. Because Ava
Yeah.
Unit 1, it comes up to about the just above the knee of the Gypsy Danger.
That's like mid-thigh, dude.
Yeah, no, I think the one... Hang on, I'm gonna send the one I'm looking at. And I like this one better. It's got Gypsy Danger topping off at about 87 meters tall. And the top of Unit 1's pylons are like 72 meters. And I feel like, even if they say it's 40... Just take a look at this and tell me if this doesn't... This seems a little bit more true. Because they use buildings in, like, comparison as well. I'm really liking the giant celestial that they use, too.
I think that's Galactus.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that Galactus?
No, Galactus is actually super small. Galactus is 30 meters tall.
What, really?
No, he's not.
No way, really? Well,
Oh, there's
all right.
Galactus.
Oh, there he is.
Wait, where the hell's Galactus on this thing?
He's right under the feet of the giant one that looks like Galactus.
Oh, he's standing next to... Wow, he's about as big as an Imperial Walker Megas XLR.
Okay,
That's different.
What if Ava versus Cloverfield?
Cloverfield's more organic, so it would be easier to injure.
I just realized Godzilla's taller than fucking Ava.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What
Wow.
other things are funny?
Why do you seem
I guess-
surprised by this?
I don't
That's a
know, but
Godzilla, that's
I just-
a robot.
And I also just realized the Outlaw Star is on this chart.
I was going to say, I just saw the Outlaw.
Yeah, there's
Star and was
Bebop,
like,
and
oh.
there's
The Outlaw Star, the
there's a Boeing
Bebop,
747.
Rodan.
Yep.
Someone put the
So Sears Tower's on
Normandy
there.
on here. Yeah, the Normandy.
Yeah, the Sears Tower is almost as big as the Celestial. That's pretty funny.
That's awesome.
I know, right?
So
Oh, look, Big Zam.
Oh, look, Big Sam.
oh, wait, the Iron Giant is on here, and that thing is friggin' tiny in
All right.
comparison.
Okay, so
Who,
I
who would
mean,
win, Big Zam versus Ava?
Oh, Big Sam?
Big Zam.
he's on this
just
chart.
walk at it.
Like,
Big Sam.
it shows Ava and Gypsy Danger as compared to the Sears Tower, but if you, like, watch, like, Pacific Rim or even Ava, like, they're as tall as skyscrapers.
But, Kamal, the Sears Tower is fucking huge. Like,
Yeah, seriously, the Sears Tower is like one of the 5 tallest buildings in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Stink. Yeah,
I
it
don't know,
is.
it just doesn't sound that impressive, guys.
Shut up.
You know,
It's not the tallest.
I'm loving the Celestial. That's my favorite part of this whole thing.
Yeah, because it's
What
there.
are some other teeny... Oh no, look at little Optimus Prime!
Yeah, Prime is...
Oh,
no, the Sentinel is friggin' tiny.
Oh no!
That's the Marvel whatever guys.
Yeah, the Marvel
Sentinel.
guys.
Yeah,
Metal
everybody-
Gear Rex is bigger than a Sentinel. That's hysterical.
Take a gander at how Gurren Lagann is shorter than an Imperial Walker.
Wait, where the hell is
And
Gurren
does
Lagann?
not even break knee height on an Ava.
Oh, yeah. But it's still more powerful than the Ava, and that's what's important.
Oh yeah, it would beat it on heart alone.
On heart.
On fighting spirit.
That's literally the
That's literally
Shinji would be like, well,
the
fuck
plot
this.
of all of Gurren Lagann is
Fighting
a-
spirit.
Viral power
fighting
versus
spirit.
AT Fields.
So
Godzilla versus Ava.
Godzilla. Look how Godzilla's huge.
Oh my god. The chorus of Godzilla, like, okay. Ava
But
versus
I'll
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, but I'll still pick Big Sam.
Oh, hey, Big Sam. Ava versus the Celestial.
What the hell is the Celestial even from?
The D&D monster.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to go with the Celestial on that one.
Good God.
I don't know,
Dang.
like, does Ava get a saving roll, or...
Oh, wait, guys.
What?
Mm,
The
Still
Megazord
will
versus an Ava.
Wait, the what?
The Megazord from Power Rangers.
Where is it?
No, it's
not on the
it's
charts.
the same problem that Voltron has. There's too many cooks.
Come
and again,
on.
I think somebody would say something stupid towards Asuka, and then blam.
Too many
Also,
Shut up.
also the bulky
I will
robots,
find a way
like
to
the ones
jump.
with the square bodies, are kind of slow.
Yeah, they are. Well, like Big O is doomed in a lot of fights because its
really-
ability to react and move is just bad.
I like
Yeah,
how
it's
every
slow.
other robot on this thing is like just kind of like, like standing there. But like the Ava is honest to God like JoJo posing. Like it's
It
like
really is.
like it's like leaning back and doing like the Dio back, like it was me, Unit 1, and it's like it's killing me right now.
Getting ready to move like a cherry around in its mouth.
God. Oh, God.
You were expecting an 80s mecha anime, but it was me instead.
You were expecting Ava's, but it was Big Sam.
That joke never gets old.
Well played, Liz. Well played.
Okay, what other giant robots are out there? I got one. How about the Nirvash?
Vegas
from,
XLR.
How about Big Sam?
Big Sam.
I don't even know what the fuck Big Sam's from.
It's Gundam! Oh.
Well,
Watch
excuse
Game
me.
Grumps.
Also, it's a Game Grumps joke because they played a Gundam fighting game, and that's all Danny picked was Big Sam.
Big
Look,
Sam
it's Big
just,
Sam.
like, it just dominates because it's like 90% of this. They do a Big Sam versus Big Sam match, and there's no room to move. Like they just occupy the entire screen.
And Big Sam is like the only thing on here that if it's on 2 feet, doesn't really have arms.
Oh no!
Its destructive force is walking.
Well,
forward.
okay, with the exception of Metal Gear Rex, because Rex doesn't have arms either, but... Or Ray. Okay, so Metal Gears don't count.
Metal Gear.
Metal
Are you
Gear.
talking about Ray from Ava? I guess
No.
she didn't have arms in EA. Or fell off.
Ooh.
GNR versus all. GNR versus everything on this page at once.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
I
kind
I
of
think
go
the
with GNR.
I'm pretty sure the Celestial.
Sounds like
No,
it'd be a good
GNR's
idea for a
bigger.
movie.
Yeah,
So
I
guys,
think
we
GNR
about
could take out the Celestial.
time to wrap it up.
I don't know. Screw. I want to know.
No,
I want to know if
I-
I want to know if the Ava could beat the Nirvash.
Yes?
No way.
Wait, hold on. If it's Shinji versus, what's his face?
Yeah, Shinji versus Renton.
Angst off.
It's all about dead angst.
Oh, I just googled the Eureka 7 one you were just talking about. How pretty.
Have you ever watched that show?
I wanted to, but I never did.
Oh my god, great show.
Like a damn
I don't like mech anime. I couldn't even say it was
But
straight
Asuka, it's not a mecha anime. It's a love story.
Say I love mecha. I was lying. I love mecha.
I love the fact that you just snuck that in there. It's like, I don't like mecha anime.
It's a good thing I don't like mech.
Guys.
Asuka, if you ever want to borrow it, I own it.
Oh shoot. Okay. Well.
Whole series.
Yeah, that surprises me not.
All right, well-
It's one of my few top 10. It's one of my few 10 out of 10 shows ever.
Hey, I know. Well, I'll discuss this off the air. All right, let's wrap this. Let's
Ooh,
wrap this.
hold on.
shit up.
Oh my god, I found something bigger than an Ava in the anime universe.
Big Sam.
Huh?
Yeah, the Menos Grande from Bleach are taller than the Avas.
Oh,
Ichigo
what about
jumps up to their
the witch from Madoka, the something?
Oh,
knock?
Charlotte.
Fuck them. Fucking
Okay, that's the last one. Charlotte, or no. Walpurgis versus
Yeah,
Ava.
Walpurgis.
Oh,
Walpurgis
God.
versus Ava. Walpurgis Walpurgis in a big way, because Walpurgis is the representation of, like, celestial despair. Shinji would just be like, nope.
No. Nope, that JPEG.
When
think
did
Asuka
you
would win
make the
against
deal
her.
to become a magical girl?
Son of a bitch.
Like, QB appears in a plug suit, like, quick, make a wish for anything.
It's like,
Oh my god, you wished for a can of UCC soda, or UCC coffee.
no,
You
no one,
absolute trash person.
knowing
Shinji, even I can't grant you the wish of your father's affection.
I was gonna say, damn it.
no, Cube would just be like, I wish for you to get in the giant fucking robot.
You do realize that if somebody wished off Cube of a can of the coffee, like just this giant ass can would just come from the heavens and just crush whatever's in front of Shinji, and he'd be like,
QB.
well, you wanted a can of the coffee. I gave you a can of the coffee.
Iowa, dude. The colossal titans from Attack on Titan versus the Avas.
Avas.
They're the exact
Titans.
same height.
Big Sam.
Big Sam.
Fucking
Titans are babies.
No, the colossal titan is at 60 meters, exactly the same as an Ava Unit 1.
Yeah, the Titans are babies.
I'm just gonna say yes.
Other team is babies.
All right.
Ava Unit 1 versus a million babies.
Ava Unit 1.
Babies. The babies.
Like,
the babies.
are the babies on the ground, or are they in
The
the
babies
air?
hold it together
They're
better
in a catapult.
babies. Shinji's
Babies.
traumatized, babies win.
Oh yeah, babies.
I think that's a wrap.
Wait, Ava Unit 1
But
versus...
here's the thing: if Shinji wins, he has to like just crush a million babies. Does he
That
have the
would take a lot of time and a lot of ode to joy.
Ava,
so
Yeah,
much
wait,
joy?
Ava Unit
But
1 versus...
only a million frames.
Ava Unit 1 versus GNR.
We know the answer to this. It's Ava Unit 1.
By the end of that fight, Ava Unit 1's going to look like Ava Unit 2.
And Ava Unit...
The longest file of Ode to Joy I can find on
All right.
YouTube is an hour, Unit 2, so
Holy
All
balls.
right.
yeah,
Put
we
on
may need to
repeat.
loop that a couple times.
I think so. Anyway, so... everyone, I think we're good, right?
I think
Right?
so.
Yeah.
Hope you guys learned a lot,
Satisfied?
and also like talking about robots fighting against other robots.
Yes, so anyway.
So learn how many babies it takes to paint an Ava Unit.
Bitch. Anyway,
Oh look, it's Big Sam.
yes, on behalf of Big Sam.
Yeah!
Oh my god! On behalf of Big Sam.
That's the title
Oh
of this
god.
episode, by the way.
Somebody
It's just going to
send
be,
this
oh look,
to
it's Big
Daniel
Sam.
Avedon. Oh my
Run it.
god, please.
Run it back with a Big Sam. Anyway, so if you wanted to keep discussing, physics
Sam.
about Ava, or you want to talk about who would win in a fight with the Avas, or any of the other wonderful stuff we've talked about tonight, feel free to jump on our forums at rebuildofevangelion.org. Email us at, the dummyplugpodcast at gmail.com, because no one's done it. Email Iowa, email somebody. For the love of God, talk to us, people. We want to talk to you.
Text, email.
Yes.
Don't
Yahoo.
text me. Don't call
Twitter,
me. Do not
Facebook.
call me. Do not Twitter me. Email me.
Challenge us on Trivia Crack.
Do not challenge me on Trivia Crack. You will fail. Do not.
Well, hey, I'll challenge you and I'll win.
Bring it.
So yes,
All right.
get in touch with us. Talk to us. We're still waiting on approval for a few conventions. If you're so just keep an eye out on the forums. We will announce them there. Other than that, on behalf of everyone here at the Dummy Plug Podcast, I'm Gainer79. Thank you. Good night, and have a pleasant tomorrow.
Oh, hey, Big Jen.